All right, New York Post columnist Miranda Devine accusing the FBI of having no remorse at all over the recent scandals and says trust in the institution is at rock bottom. A new op-ed this morning, Miranda writes, from the Bureau's unctuous public statements, there is no remorse, nothing to see here. Please move along, which, of course, the complete and complicit media is more than happy to do. Miranda Devine joins me right now. She's also a Fox News contributor. Miranda, good to see you. Amazing testimony this week, really explosive testimony, and we spoke with one of the whistleblowers earlier. Do they think this just going to go away if they act as if nothing has happened here?
Well, yes, of course. Christopher Wray never shows any ruffled feathers about any of the oversight or any of the criticism. His job when he was appointed by President Trump was to try and restore the faith in the FBI that had been lost through James Comey's antics. Instead, he's done the opposite. Things have gone from bad to worse under him. And last week, you just had blow after blow. You had those three courageous whistleblowers who previously had worked for the FBI were suspended without pay. The retaliation after they made protected whistleblower complaints was cruel and unbelievable, really. No other employer in the country could get away with that. And so then you had other revelations that the FBI has been spying on Americans, using these Pfizer surveillance warrants, but looking through this database at their private information. The FBI, of course, the whistleblowers have told us that they have been spying on parents at school board meetings, targeting Catholics, targeting pro-lifers. Wow. It's just out of control. They're abusing their power, and nobody cares. There's no accountability.
It's incredible. And, are we surprised that they're showing no remorse whatsoever, that after the leadership just keeps getting away with stuff? I mean, look at James Comey. He's writing books, doing movies. Look at Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, John Brennan. They've got deals, contracts with liberal networks to be their national security analyst. There was no accountability whatsoever after they took us through a 4-year scandal, a complete charade of the Russia collusion story. And what happened? Nothing.
Well, exactly. Nothing. And, they crippled the Trump presidency with this Russia collusion lie. The Durham report lays it all out, but it's all, too late, really, to do anything about it. Nobody cares. No, the Washington Post and the New York Times are not handing back the Pulitzers they got for peddling the lies from the FBI. And it all came from the Clinton campaign. We know that. It's official. And still nobody cares. And Hillary Clinton, when she was interviewed by John Durham, just laughed it off as Russian disinformation, which is their go-to line. And, they blame Russia for everything, and they have done for the last 6 years. And now we're in a proxy war with Russia in Ukraine. They stopped Donald Trump from being able to normalise relations with Russia. So who knows what kind of geopolitical ramifications this Russia hoax continually had. They did it again, of course, in 2020 with the Hunter Biden laptop, pretending that was Russian disinformation.
Well, it's even worse than that, Miranda, because during the 4 years of the Trump presidency, he had to constantly be on defense. I didn't collude, when in fact we should have been focused on communist China. We should have been focused on how communist China has gotten inside the gates of America and been able to get academia, Hollywood, corporate America to actually, push for policies that favor China. And we should have been focused on what Joe Biden and the Biden family were doing in terms of taking in all of that money, which you reported so well in terms of the Biden laptop from hell. So it's even worse than just the Russia impact. What about the impact of, like you said, crippling a president and putting a president on defense when he should have been focused more on China? And even in the face of that, he recognized China as the threat it was, evidenced by his meeting with Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago when he first became president in 2017.
Yes, Maria, you're absolutely right. And I think, of course, that was the point. The point was to distract Americans, to demonise Russia and to pretend that China was a lesser threat, when, of course, you know, the obvious point is that China, of course, is the greater threat. Yes. And so, but that was the point, because these people in power were making money out of China, still are, and they were not going to let go of that. So they needed to create a distraction, and that's what the FBI very compliantly did.
But, Miranda, look at the arrogance that now we've got this FBI whistleblower situation. We spoke with one of those courageous whistleblowers earlier in the show this morning. Garrett O'Boyle joined me to talk about how his life has been upended because of the weaponization of the FBI. Watch this.
It certainly appears that it's a two-tiered system, and it's in favor of one political leaning over the other. That rot, it is at the headquarters level. It is at the top. I would estimate probably 20% of the agency, the senior executive staff level. And honestly, it's probably not even all of them, just a lion's share of them who have really distorted and twisted the agency.
Miranda, your reaction, because now we're seeing calls from Republicans to start over, dismantle the FBI altogether, bring in some kind of an outside group, a special group to actually look at how the FBI needs to be changed. I guess that includes a new leader. Can Chris Wray survive this?
Well, of course, while Joe Biden's there, he can. You know, the FBI is basically the servant to the Biden family and to the Democratic Party at the moment. It's out of control, but at some point it'll turn and bite them as well. But at the moment it's useful, and Chris Wray is useful because he's done nothing to stop the rot and to fix the culture in that place. He's been a disaster. But he's safe, at least until Republicans take back power in Washington.
How disturbing. Miranda, always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much.